Hey everyone, we're here with Dan from Sergeant Thunderhoof. They're from England, the beautiful England. If you don't know them, you should check them out. Their latest album, The Ghost of Baden Hill, is a fantastic fucking piece of work. It's 45 minutes of beautiful guitar, fantastic voices, pounding drums. It's just it's it's great. Dan, holy fuck, what a piece of work that album is.
Thank you. Yeah, it was very much a conscious thing to try and fit it into 45 minutes on this album, whereas on previous albums, we've kind of just done whatever we wanted without a thought to kind of try and censor ourselves. So on this occasion, I do think it works. It's hard for me to kind of give an unbiased perspective on the album, though. It's too
Sure.
close.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. Is there a song for you that really stands out as like one of your favorites?
Um, no, not really. I genuinely like all the songs. I'd say the song that I'm most proud of lyrically is probably Sentinel. I think I really just hit a nerve with the lyrics on that one. It's very personal. But no, I'm trying not to listen to it too much at the moment because you get so wrapped up in your own stuff. You need to go away and listen to other stuff and
Yeah.
not to get sucked into your own ego too much, you know?
I don't know. Sometimes, getting sucked into your own ego is fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very risky, I think, being in a band and listening to your listen. Every musician does this, that they will listen to themselves over and over and over again and then pretend that they don't. Uh,
Yeah.
but no, yeah, if they're all honest, we all obsess over our own stuff. I know I obsess over my own vocals and I'll be overcritical about something I've done. Um, but no, it's very nice to hear people like yourself say nice things about the album, and that was obviously the goal was to do something really cool, and I think we pulled it off.
I think so too. I absolutely think so. So, like Planet Desert Rock Weekend, that is why or how I found you. I was like, oh, I'm gonna listen to all the bands and see what sticks out there. And I was talking with John Gist, and he sent me was it This Veiled Scepter, I think, which is another, great album. And he's like, dude, this album, I don't remember. It was that one or another one, but he's like, this album, I think it was that one. And I'm like, all right. So I listened to it and I'm like, holy shit, like that's good too. Like, oh my God. So, thanks, John, for turning lots of us onto other great artists. And you guys are one of those bands that I'm really, really looking forward to seeing live out there here in a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever it is.
Yeah, so yeah, that was this Sceptred Veil, which came
Yeah.
out 2022, I think. Um, that was very much our COVID album,
Yeah.
so it was it's like 70, 80 minutes long, and I love it, but I mean, one of the things that we, retrospectively thought about that album is, blimey, we probably needed to trim some of that. But it was COVID. We all went a bit crazy, didn't we? So, um, and that was the album which kind of put us over the top with a lot of people, um, which was really good. And obviously, John has been a fan of the band for a while now. He did ask us to play Vegas this year. Sorry, last year, but it turned out I was getting married, so the dates didn't line up. But obviously, yeah. So when he asked this time, we were like, "Yeah, hell yeah, that'd be great."
Hell yeah. Damn weddings getting in the way of live music.
Yeah,
Well,
and personal
congratulations
lives.
on yeah, congratulations on getting married.
Thank you, thank you.
How's that been like that transition into like married life for you over the last year?
Uh, well, I mean, me and my partner, we've been together for um, yeah, 13 years now. So it hasn't changed that much. We've got two lovely kids, and no, it hasn't changed anything, to be honest. Um, very very happy marriage, and being in a band is awkward, isn't it? Because you're kind of married to your bandmates as well, um,
Yes.
and it's trying to maintain those relationships and making sure everyone's happy and healthy. And one thing we've always tried to do in this band is keep it fun and never get too serious. We never get so up our own arse that we kind of start to, I don't know, there comes a point in the band where everything gets so businesslike that sometimes the fun can be sucked out of it. And so we've actually been really good in this band at kind of keeping things chilled, informal. We never get too busy with gigs. We don't play that many gigs really.
Right.
Um, we're certainly busy when it comes to writing and recording, but that doesn't seem to take us that much time, to be honest. And we all enjoy that. I think a lot of bands kind of, you know, it probably works for them that they're out on the road and playing a lot of shows, but for us, we're more interested in the kind of creation of music, and
Yeah.
um, but not that we don't enjoy gigging. We love gigging, but it can kill so many bands.
Well, and when you throw like m- home life, right, wife, kids, partners, whatever, into the mix, it starts to throw stresses on everything in your life, and music should be something that you enjoy. And if you're a band that can get out there and play 300 dates a year, awesome. That's great. And if you're a band that really gets off on recording more or creating more, like that's fucking great too. We because we need everything.
Yeah, the two things don't work well. It can work, but if you want to add in happy home life and relationships into that mix, it doesn't work.
Right.
And I mean, I run a studio. I'm in my studio at the moment, so I deal with hundreds of bands every week, and the one thing I've learned is that if you're not careful, you can break up really easily. The number one reason bands stop being a band is because they break up, and um, most of that is either down to money, time, energy, relationships, that kind of thing. Um, and obviously, we want to do this for as long as we can. And we've been a band now for 12 years or so. Um, and yeah, we love it. We love each other. We love the music. But it's a very, very it's a very hard thing to keep the train on the tracks, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
To try and I mean, we've still got the same lineup we had when we started. We've actually added a guitarist as well. And that's very rare for a rock band you know, to
Oh
do
yeah.
that. Um,
Yeah. Like I can't tell you. I don't know. There's probably a couple of bands, but I can't think of any off the top of my head that have had a consistent lineup for the entire time.
no,
You know,
and I can honestly say if one of us left, we probably would stop. It wouldn't be the same. Is it, some bands when you have like a main person and they have their hired band around them, that's different, isn't it? You can chop and change guitar. If you're like Alice Cooper, you can have a different guitarist every tour if you wanted, or a different drummer.
he almost
Um,
does.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I love Alice, but
Yeah.
you know, obviously since the actual band broke up in the 70s, it's been a revolving door of people. Um, and I kind of think that's quite sad, really. But yeah, for us, it's very much about the people in the band. It's not just, the end result and the brand.
Right. Yeah. It's I guess at the end of the day, the band should be the sum of all the parts and not this person and hired guns. And I say that again, right? It depends on what the goal is of the band. If the goal is enjoy the people you're around, create with those people, and have fun with it, then it should be the sum of all the parts. Whereas if the goal is to brand it a specific way, then yeah, one person create, everyone else just follow suit. Then, if that works for you, right?
Yeah, yeah. If you're Dio, then yeah, Dio is Dio, and if Dio dies, it's dead.
Yeah.
But if the drummer dies, yeah, that's sad, but he can carry on. But it's I mean, not none of us in this band, we're not kind of rock star minded, you know, we're really not that way inclined. It's about the music and having fun and keeping it cool. But yeah, I can honestly say if someone decided to stop in this band, we probably would stop. I think that probably would be the best thing to do. But yeah, it's a weird one. It feels weird to be in this band, to be honest. It feels like we've just kind of stumbled upon it, you know?
Yeah, really. So you didn't
Yeah.
like it wasn't like a mindset going in like, oh, we're gonna put this together and go this direction.
Well, no, because the drummer, the bassist, and myself, we were in bands together going back to the late 90s. Um, and then we all kind of, you know, those bands broke up and we all went off and did different things, lived in different places. And about, yeah, 13 years ago, 12 years ago, we just thought, you know, no one was in a band at the time. And we just thought, oh, let's meet up for a jam, like old friends, you know. And I said, I've got this guy that I know called Mark. I was playing another band with. He can come along play guitar. And next thing you know, we've done, you know, written a couple of ideas and thought, oh, let's record it for a laugh, you know. Oh, let's what can we call this? Oh, you know, Sergeant Thunderhoof as a kind of joke, you know. I think we used to uh we had an in joke with the band where we call our drummer Thunderlips, as in the guy from Rocky 3, Hulk
Yeah.
Hogan. We used to call him Thunderlips or Thundersticks on drums. And I think we were thinking, oh, should we just call it Thunderlips or something like that? Um, but then obviously, yeah, it was all a happy accident. Then I had this idea of turning it into a character and having a running story. And, you know, it's, yeah, it does feel like we've just happened upon it, you know?
That's pretty awesome. It kind of I think things that should happen for a collective group of people just you just kind of stumble on it. It happens, it keeps moving. And obviously you guys are writing some killer tunes. Just holy shit. And I love that they're not and I probably need to preface this by saying I like straightforward, just punch in your face death metal to, like literally about any music you can think of. So, but I like that you guys mix so many elements and you listen to a song and it's a musical story that fast, slow, it has its peaks and valleys. It's written really well.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, like musically, this band is interesting because we're all at an age now where we can kind of leave our pride at the door a little bit. So we all understand that everyone's got different tastes and different kind of things that they like to do musically. So we're quite happy for everyone to come in and do their thing, and I'll do my thing, and you'll just have to be happy with it, or you know, it's like um you know, we know there's always going to be compromise, you know. There's always going to be a compromise. It's not going to be exactly how I, you know, maybe I'd want to go in and make it sound like Fleetwood Mac, you know. Uh and the Mark, our guitarist, he might want to go and make it sound like Metallica or something. And it's never going to be that because I'm not as big a Metallica fan as he is,
Right.
you know. But we're at an age now where we can kind of like not worry so much about what the other people in the band think. We kind of trust each other and we know whatever happens, at least it's going to be true to ourselves, if you know what I mean. We're not trying to sound like any other band. We're not trying to sound like a stoner band or a heavy metal band. We're just doing what we think is cool, you know.
Well, that's what you should do, right? That in my mind,
It's
talking to
hard though.
well,
It's
absolutely.
that's hard.
But you talking to a lot of bands, I think bands that what I've noticed is bands that play music or write music for themselves first have more longevity than bands who go out there going, I'm gonna be, like selling stadiums and shit, right? Like go out there with no preconceived notions like you guys. Let's just have fun, right? Let's
Yeah,
see what happens.
you can smell it a mile off, can you? Where
Yeah.
when a band is trying to do something or doing what they think people like you might want to hear, or doing what they think the magazines are going to rave about, it just you can smell the desperation,
It
and
falls short.
it's the wrong way around. I think you just got to really enjoy the process.
Yeah,
Um, and I love, for me, it's my favorite thing is the writing and recording. I love it. I just find it so, I don't know. I get
invigorating.
so excited about it. It's just seeing how a song just starts from this kind of tiny little idea. Um, I mean, if I had it my way, we'd be working on the next album now. I just love it.
So what's stopping you? Everyone else?
It's time. Yeah, it's time. Like, yeah, everyone's got full-time jobs and families and mortgages and um yeah, I mean, if I had it my way, we'd be doing this 5 days a week. I'd get another 6 albums out by Christmas. Personally, I'd be like Frank Zappa.
Dude, that dude was a he was so crazy, but so creative and
Yeah, for
love.
him, it was. You
Yeah,
can tell like people like Zappa were like, it isn't that he wants to do 10 albums. He has to.
yeah,
He has to. He would probably do himself in if he didn't. It's
yeah,
like Devin Townsend similar. He's driven to just produce stuff. Mike Patton, these people. It's the process. It's the journey, isn't it? It's not the end result.
yeah.
And I always find actually that once we've finished, it's like this last album. Obviously, I'm really proud of it and I'm really pleased with it. But as soon as it comes out, I feel kind of depressed. I have a
What-
yeah, I every time this happens, and I know this happens now. I go for about a 2 or 3 week depression, like proper,
So
where
like a mourning period, like oh, that creative process is over.
it's yeah, and then we'll start getting like really good reviews for the album. Not always, sometimes we get some bad ones, but we'll get a good review, and I'm almost pissed off. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what it is. I feel like I don't know. I have to have something else that I'm working on. So yeah, like I said, if I had it my way, I'd be starting the writing for the next album now, and I'd feel so much happier and just less anxious. I need to have something in the diary.
Yeah, that's wild. Like I get it though. I absolutely get it. When you're drawn to something and you do it and then it stops, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah,
It sucks. If because it is. I know it's really cliched, isn't it? But it's the journey. It's not the destination. That's what I enjoy. So yeah, like I said, I understand why people, like Zappa needed just always be working on the next thing, just to maintain some kind of mental health.
so, although you're not writing for the next album, do you still sit down with, with an instrument and say, okay, I'm gonna at least try and put something together so when we get back together, I can say, oh, what do you guys think of this? Or what do you think of that?
I don't so much do that. I mean, I really rely on the band to give me ideas like riffs and music. I mean, I am a little bit musical and I play guitar and stuff like that, but that's not my skill is lyric writing and putting melodies to music. Um, so I'm always kind of badgering the other band members. You got any ideas? Just send me a demo, anything, because I would start working on it now.
You're like a
Uh,
crackhead. I need to create. Like, come on, give it to me.
yeah, Yeah, I love everything about it. I love putting the vinyls together, the artwork, and I love sending the stuff. Every bit of the kind of because we kind of act as our own label as well, and I get a real kick out of all that.
Hell yeah. Oh, are you bringing vinyl to Vegas with you?
Yes,
Sweet. Do you guys have variants on the vinyl or is it just like one color?
I think in Vegas it'll probably be one color, but yeah, there are two or three available at the moment.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
and obviously all the rest of our catalog is all out there as well.
Hell
I've
yeah.
got a whole room just above here, stacked floor to ceiling with CDs and records.
Oh shit. I mean that's what you got to do as a band, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're very fortunate that I'm in a job where it allows us to do all that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously that's by design. I started the place, but It does make things so much easier when it comes to recording and yeah, actually releasing our stuff, getting the records, the t-shirts, all that kind of stuff made. Um, so my wife does all our artwork. Um, all our t-shirts are made by printers who are just down the road from me here. It's all done in my studio with our engineer Josh, who's now playing in the band. His wife does all the PR in the band. So it's very much a kind of little ecosystem that we've created in our little town.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, that's really nice. That.
Yeah, I think there are, I would like to see more bands do that. Like, and nothing against any of the larger PR companies or anything like that, because obviously they have their place, and I think a lot of them do. The ones I've been in contact with, I think do a tremendous job at what they do. So, but I'm I'm of the mind that I want to try and keep as much of everything in my circle as possible. So if I know someone that does shirts, I want them doing the shirts. I want them, doing my printing. I want, this person doing the art. It just I think one from a relationship standpoint, it's someone that wants to see you succeed 100%, and they more times than not they understand what you're going after, so they know when to push properly and when to like let off the gas, so there's not a bunch of undue stress for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it took a long time to get to the point where we are now by building up our fans and our customers and our followers, mailing lists and Bandcamp, Spotify, all that kind of stuff. Um, and we were offered a number of deals with independent labels, and we very nearly went for it because it was cash. We didn't have cash, and that's the thing that stops most bands from doing this is the cash. It costs a lot of money to get vinyl press, and then you have to think about how am I going to send it? You got to invest in packaging, and then um, all the little things, all the logistics. Um, so we were offered that, but then because I enjoy it so much, and I am a control freak. I have to make sure in my own head that I need to be sure that someone's doing the job properly. And if a label was like taking care of that kind of stuff, I don't think I could handle that lack of control.
Mhm.
Also, the thing that worried me is that if we had started releasing our music through a label, any old label, the label could just choose at any time just to stop printing it, uh, as it's their right, because they're not contracted to keep repressing stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and that's happened to so many bands I know. They've been on a label, so they had that kind of ego boost of being signed to a label. But the label's got no interest in them repressing another 1,000 records if the first 1,000 took ages to sell out. So then, they could go on to do three, four, five albums, but if a customer says, "Oh, I really want to get your first album again," it's out of their control because they don't own it. Um, and I don't think I could handle that. You know,
Well,
some
I think I understand, and mind you, I'm not trying to sell you on signing to a label, because uh, I'm very much, I prefer bands to do it themselves anyway, right? I
Mm,
think that is just better for the band as a whole. You
mm.
you have control of everything. I think there are ways to negotiate those things though, right? Like
Yeah,
the represses, or hey, if the label only wants to do one press, and the agreement is if we do 1,000 copies and it takes 4 years to sell, we're not going to repress it, then the band at that point should have that option to say, well, cool, then we'll just repress it ourselves, right? So I'm sure there's a way to negotiate that. um I don't
the
deal
trouble
with.
is,
Go
the
ahead.
trouble is, like the younger bands, that obviously they're not thinking that far ahead.
Right.
Um, and I personally know someone who's, that their band they did very well, signed to a label, but now the two records they did are now out of print, but they have no way of, and the label will not relinquish the masters,
Hmm.
because they're like, well, I mean, legally they're right to do so. It's in the contract. They own the masters.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I'm sure, like you said, the smaller labels, you can probably come up with an agreement, a gentleman's agreement, to say that, yeah, maybe there's like a kind of a 2 year cut-off date or something like that where ownership reverts back and all that kind of stuff. Um, it does seem to me like so many of these deals, the band will go in and finance the entire record themselves, and all the label is doing is simply pressing it.
Yeah.
They've actually put there's no investment in the music itself. All
Well,
they're doing is,
that is better for the band, right? Like it,
well, it's not if they don't own the master.
well, you're absolutely right. But that's part of I think you and I having this conversation, hopefully some people it opens some people's eyes to those
Mm.
things, right? But I'm I'm noticing more and more bands are like, hey, the label doesn't really do all enough for us or a lot or whatever that means, right? So we're going to go and we're going to record it and we're going to own everything and then we're just going to license it to the label. And that is where it becomes a much more profitable concept for the band or artists themselves.
I agree with that. Licensing is a good thing, definitely. Yeah, like those are kind of exclusive licenses where we say we have the right to press, I don't know, 1,000 records. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all good. Yeah, and we've done stuff like that. We've done like with independent kind of tape cassette labels and stuff like that. Whereas, because we probably don't have the facility to do tapes ourselves. I was like, okay, well, yeah, you do 500, you do what you want, mate, and then we're quits.
Yeah. Yeah, that I
Yeah,
mean
that works.
well, even on a grander scale, like I Hate God does that. So they got burned by a label at one point, and so they were like, okay, cool. Like, what can we do to change that? Well, we're gonna record, we're gonna own everything, and they just license it to labels, and that label is responsible for all the pressing, I would assume a certain amount of promotion, right? Things like that. And that way they do own the master. And if the label ever says, hey, we're not going to press anymore, okay, cool. I don't give a shit. We're going to go over here and license it to this person now. Right. But
Oh,
ultimate,
I didn't realize that. That's really cool.
yeah. Um,
How long have they been doing that for?
I would say 10 years.
Oh, blimey. Yeah, that sounds ideal for a band of their stature as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because you got to think like that's probably where the majority of their money's coming from, isn't it? Like just day to day.
Yeah. But I mean, they're not out there 300 dates a year
Mm.
playing. So they really rely on the merch and they have complete control over every aspect of that, right? So if they're gonna, if they want a certain color vinyl, I'm sure they say, here's the deal, or I would assume at some point they just turn it over and say, hey, we expect you guys to press X amount. We don't care color, whatever, but here's the packaging we're using. Um, you know, go and do your thing. It's I think a lot more bands are really moving in that direction because, I mean, looking historically at shit bands in all genres at all levels, the labels have they've burned so many people, doing things like we were just talking about, like, oh, cool, it took us too long to press, so we're just going to shelve that for, indefinitely. Like, well, hold on. I still want to do shit with it. Come on.
It's hard, isn't it? I mean, because I don't have a hatred for labels at all because, I mean, a lot of them went many years putting money into bands that never made it. So there's always going to be, you can't begrudge them making a profit off a big artist when, they probably made a loss on another 10 artists.
Sure.
So, and obviously some of my favorite bands, uh, benefited from being on a label which kind of saw the bigger picture. So they maybe didn't expect the band to have a hit for maybe the first album or two. You look at Elton John, he didn't have a hit for 3 albums, but because the label were like, okay, we believe in this guy, we'll give him 5 or 6 albums to kind of find his feet. So in that kind of respect, like But then again, that side of the record industry isn't really there anymore.
Right.
You
No,
know,
it's
especially
go ahead.
in the
Sorry.
the mainstream. You know,
No, I think, when you look at, especially like pop music, it's very systematic in what they do. They want a specific look. They're looking for a certain sound, and it's very, it doesn't really veer from this formula. This is what we have. Okay, good. You're attractive enough. These songs are catchy enough. Oh, and John over here is going to write it. So we know it's going to have that certain whatever, and they don't veer from that. And I think that's why, personally, that's why I delve more into the underground and the independent artists because uh, it's a free for all, like if a metal band wants to have pop, mixed in there, they can absolutely do that. And yeah, does it sound weird? Yep, but that's why we're here, right? Everyone has the ability to do what they want, and there's
it's
no,
more of a it's more long term, isn't it? Because like but bands in our kind of field and genre, we still very much believe in the album, don't we?
yeah,
It's because that's something you latch onto, and you know, you'll always go back and listen to an album that you like. But obviously, the mainstream now is all about singles and YouTube and TikTok, and how many people are going to go back and listen to just a single in a few years? I don't know. I've seen rock bands come into our studio recording singles, and I'm asking them, is this for an album? Are you working towards an album?
they're
Oh
like,
no,
no,
no, we're doing a run of 4 or 5 singles. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, for what?
yeah,
What's it leading to? But that is what it's leading to. Is the next YouTube video, and I'm like, are you a rock band or are you bloody Billie Eilish or I don't get it. I don't. I'm an old fuddy duddy. I still believe in the album.
me too.
Um, for me, that's how you chronicle a career, isn't it? You go back through the albums. You don't go back through a playlist of
Now,
singles
what
and
like now when I pull up an artist, like I'm one of those guys, I like playlists sometimes when I'm preparing for something like Planet Desert Rock Weekend, right? Of course, I'm listening to that religiously right now, but I get up and I'm like, oh, I'm in the mood for this artist.
yeah,
Cool. I want to listen to this album, and I turn on an album from start to finish. Like
yeah,
I'm with you. I think it's an art, and that's why I like vinyl is the
mm.
the full picture of the art, the cover, the insert, the lyrics, the color of the vinyl, the label, the smell of it when you rip the first cellophane off it, and like I just want to hear an album from start to finish like
Yeah. It's
that.
also the length, isn't it? Like 45 minutes. It's just the perfect amount of time for me to concentrate on something.
Yeah,
Any less or any more, um, I can't get my head around the idea of doing a single. I can't get my head around that. Why would I want someone's attention for 3 minutes? That doesn't it doesn't appeal to me.
no, me neither. But there are those people who are, that's they're I think at that point they're almost clawing for that attention. Like I have to get your attention for 3 minutes. Well, what's the goal? Again,
It
right?
it doesn't last. It doesn't last. It's such a short termism, isn't it? It's thinking, it's like going to be our next TikTok video or viral video or something like that. I think you're onto a fool's errand if that's what you're grabbing for, trying to get those hits and the stats. It doesn't work.
No, well, again, right? It goes back to why are you doing this? If you're doing it for the love of music, then it should be, the album. What does that look like from start to finish? How did you lay it out? How does each song flow into next? Because you know, it, you write if you write a punk song and then you write a pop song, they don't really flow into each other. Like whatever.
I mean, I'll be interested in hearing
Me
that.
too. But we'll see. Like I guess it would be like hitting a wall. take a left turn. Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean that's what I liked about Faith No More. You know, they do like a really heavy song, and then next thing they're doing a Commodores cover. You know,
Yeah.
um, there's not many bands who get away with that, but they did.
Well, and like Mike Patton is he is such a performer. He's got fantastic vocals. Like, and I feel like every project he touches is it's such a cool project and it doesn't sound like anything else he's done. Like,
Yeah,
man.
he's incredibly talented, almost annoyingly talented. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, I mean, I probably would say he's got the best voice in rock. I think.
He's top three, I think, for me. Um, one of my favorites is a they're a local band from here. And actually your voice is fucking astounding too. Like,
Thank you.
wow. But so Josh Murphy plays with the band Blessed Black, and his voice, I like it so much. I literally listen to it every single day.
Wow, what style of vocal is it?
So the band they say is like Doom, but I honestly I just call it like in my mind it's just really good rock and roll, man.
Hmm. Well, what kind of vocal style is it?
Good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to quantify
It's
that.
fun. Actually, it's funny, isn't it? Because some voices you just fall in love with the sound of the voice, don't you?
Yeah,
Some people just have just a natural tone about their voice that you can't quite distinguish why. Um, yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, there's some voices where you can go, he sounds like Chris Cornell,
right.
or you can say, oh, he sounds like Eddie Vedder. There's different styles, isn't there? Um,
Yeah, I
Whereas Mike Patton's like kind of on his own. He sounds like Mike Patton, doesn't he?
yeah.
No one else really sounds like him. Yeah.
Well, that's what you want. I mean, I think I would assume from a vocalist, you want someone to say, "Oh, your sound is so unique to you that when it comes on, I just know that's who that is."
I mean, yeah, I hope that's the case. That would be nice. I think it's like if I listen to the stuff I did, say, 10 years ago, it sounds, trying to be unbiased. I sound like I'm trying to be like a kind of Ozzy Osbourne type of vocalist. Because I think I was feeling kind of, mate, that's how people want me to sound. It's what we were saying earlier
Yeah,
when you try to do stuff that you think people want to hear. Whereas on the newer stuff, I am being a little bit more myself. Um, but then again, you're just a product of your environment, aren't you? I grew up listening to yeah, Dave Gilmour, Mike Patton, Alice Cooper, Freddie Mercury, and all these different people. So yeah, it's just my voice, isn't it? I guess.
yeah, which is fucking fantastic.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you.
So let me ask you this. Planet Desert Rock Weekend is coming up. What is there a band that you all are playing with or that you're going to see while you're in town that you're really, really pumped about
I
being
mean,
with?
honestly, I'm really excited about all of it. Uh, uh it's going to be great to see Unida. It'd be great to see Moss Generator again because we haven't played with those guys for yeah probably nearly 10 years now. Um, and we've done lots of work with Tony in Moss Generator over the years. He masters all our stuff these days, so it's going to be great to see Moss Generator again. But no, generally, I think I think John Gist has done a really good job at creating a really cool bill.
Yeah,
It isn't a typical stoner rock bill. He's kind of pushing at the boundaries, which is really nice.
yeah.
And obviously it's international as well. He's got bands flying in from all over, so that's really cool. So yeah, it's just generally going to be interesting to see all of the bands.
I think so too. I don't think there's a band on there that I'm like, yeah, I don't care about. Like I'm absolutely excited from the start on Thursday till the finish on Sunday. And Luna Soul, you guys, Fire Down Below is they rank so high with me. They're just I'm
Awesome.
I'm super stoked to see all of those dudes. Um, how long are you guys in town for?
I think we fly in on the Wednesday evening, I think. So we'll be down there for the majority of it. I think we have to fly back on the Sunday, which is a shame. Um, but yeah, we'll be there for most of it.
Cool.
Maybe try and I've never been to Vegas, so yeah, do a little bit of sightseeing and pop
S-
my head around some corners.
Stay away from the casinos, yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I don't need that in my life.
No, no, I know. I think I did that once, probably like 15 years ago, and I'm like, yeah, okay, that like I lost my $10. I'm cool. I'm out.
These you have slot machines, yeah, fruit. We call them fruit machines over here.
Mm,
Yeah, are they called fruit machines over there?
no, slot machines.
Slot machines, okay. We call them fruit machines over here, and yeah, we used to have a couple at our local pub, and I used to be a bit of a demon on that. Before you know it, you put 50 quid in. It's like, oh,
You're like, oh
yeah.
shit,
So
yeah.
I stay away from gambling.
They've got them in the airport there.
Yeah, I won't be going on that.
Like you like get off the plane and there's slot machines. You're like, what the fuck is
I'd
going
l-
on?
I'd I'd love to play poker if there was some if I could get on a table and play Texas Hold'em. I'd love to do that. If I knew, okay, I'm going to lose £100. I'm fine with that because I'd enjoy the game, and I know I'm not going to lose any more than £100. But I'm
Yeah.
not going to win. I'm not going to win. I just like to be like James Bond and, but get myself a martini and
You're like,
yeah,
split it, double down. I'm good. Oh, lost everything. I'm out of here.
yeah. I would just like to kind of fantasize about being some kind of supervillain or something like that.
I
That
think
sounds
that's
good.
I think that's easy enough. Wh where are you guys staying in Vegas?
Oh, I don't know. Our guitarist is sorting that out, but I don't think it's too far from the venue we're playing. So for about 20, 25 minutes, and I don't think it's too far from where all the amusements are. So
Yeah.
we probably will go and you know have a snoot around and see what's up.
Yeah, you absolutely should while you're in town. Go have some fun. Like make sure you go check out the Sphere.
I've heard someone was telling me this morning actually. Is that where they've got the you can watch like sport events and stuff in the big round
Yeah.
thing, is it? Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah. That looks super cool. That keep seeing like I'll see a show and I'll look at tickets and I'm like, holy fuck, I don't want to spend that much to go to that thing. Like
Is it expensive,
thousands.
is it?
Oh, it's thousands of dollars.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
What a shame.
Wild.
Modern
Uh
life sucks, doesn't it? It
yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty great, but it's definitely not cheap, but when you're going to do something, you got to save up and really enjoy it. So make sure it's worth it.
True.
Uh, if you guys have a chance while you're in Vegas, go check out the Hoover Dam.
How far out of Vegas is that?
I don't think it's too far, 30 minutes maybe, 45, something like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, someone else recommended that to me as well. Um, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Um, yeah, I mean, 'cause I mean, I've never been to the States in general, so this is going to be quite interesting for me. I've been to Canada, but that's the closest I've been. Um,
I mean,
so
that's pretty
I think
close.
I think some of the whereabouts are you then?
I live in Kentucky.
Okay, how far is that from Vegas?
So flight time I think is 4 or 5 hours.
You see, this is the thing because we have no conception of the distances in America.
Yeah,
Because obviously, in we don't really fly within our country. You drive.
yeah,
If I want to get to Manchester, it's 3 hours. If I want to get to London, it's 2 hours. If I want to get to Scotland, it's about 5 hours.
yeah. No,
Um, I mean,
we're
I have flown to Scotland before, um, but yeah, the size of England is probably about the same as Texas, I think.
probably so drive time I think is somewhere between 15 and 20 hours to get to Vegas.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And what's that drive like? Is it impossible?
No, not at all. We did it we took the kids on a vacation, 22 or 23, hopped in the car and drove, and we went to, I gotta think, we made a few stops uh, between here and there. Like we stopped in, I guess we stopped in Kansas, then Colorado, then Utah, and then went to Vegas.
Right. Okay.
And then we hit, I don't know, California and came back on the south. It probably took us 14 or 15 days to do everything.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It was great.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Me and my dad have often talked about doing that. Um, yeah, road trip in America, and I'm guessing your uh motorway food is a lot better than it is in the UK.
I don't know. I mean,
It always looks cool on the TV shows and the films, like the truck stops and stuff. The food looks so much better over there than it does here.
yeah, I don't, I think it depends on what kind of place you hit. Because some of them you're like, I don't know if I want that hot dog that's been on the roller for 15 hours, like I'm gonna shit my brains out if I eat it. But there's so much food that it's really easy to stop, every couple of hours and get something really good. That's probably what I'm looking forward to in Vegas is the food. I've been um, researching places, and there's a place that does the Japanese like souffle pancakes.
Mhm.
Oh man, I've been hunting for those for probably a year and a half, and now I'm like, okay, that's where like it's so bad. I have it on my calendar to go at this time
Oh, that sounds awesome. Can you send me the name?
for sure. Yeah, I'll send you. There's a Japanese sandwich place, like, yeah, so much. And my buddy going with me is a chef, so he's hunting things down too.
Nice. No, that sounds awesome. Yeah, but someone was telling me there's a place called the Heart Attack Grill or something like that.
Oh yeah,
Is that worth going to or not?
I don't know. So I've never been. Like in my mind, it's a novelty, right?
Mm.
Like they if you what is it? If you weigh over a certain weight, like 350 or something, then you eat for free. Um, and and if this is
You
this is how gluttonous we are. Um, what do they do? They
you
make
you
you.
you would not get away with that in this country. That would actually be illegal.
That's
You couldn't
so
do it.
wild. Like I'm dumbfounded at some of the stuff that we consider food. Like I'm like that's not fucking food at all. Like that is like eating
No,
a piece of
it's
leather.
it's the two extremes, isn't it? It's the two extremes. I don't like either. I don't. We're way too in this country. We're way too litigious and bureaucratic when it comes to food.
Mm,
And like like you can't just go into a shop and buy a chocolate bar anymore in this country. They've reduced all the sizes and they've cut out all the sugar. And obviously that's a good thing for health reasons, but it's not the government's job
yeah.
to dictate what I can and can't eat. I don't like that. And so they brought in the sugar tax. So instead of all the companies putting the price of their sugary goods up, they just reduced the sizes and took out more sugar. So it's not the same. So all the stuff that you used to eat, it just tastes like crap now.
Oh, dude.
It's like sometimes I want something sugary and fatty,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
I
but
just
then
bought a
yeah,
I just bought a giant milk chocolate Hershey with almond bar, and it's like I shit you not, it's like this big.
wow,
Like I could
really
put it in front of my face and cover my face, and I've been eating on it now for like 3 days. Like I just have a couple of little pieces like at night,
nice.
before bed, but like I love the ability to buy something that's like I can hide behind. Doo, doo, doo.
Yeah, the sadly in this country, the sizes of everything just keeps going down and down.
Yeah.
Uh, I've seen someone comparing like an American McDonald's to a British one, and I think the British large Coke is about that big,
Oh
and
shit.
I've seen the American one. It's like that,
It's
you know.
huge. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you literally can't buy anything bigger than that.
Yeah, but I think you guys have I think your McDonald's is probably healthier than the McDonald's we have over here.
Oh, to be honest, it's probably the same shit.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's. Do you not think?
I don't think so. I, they say that everything's run through the Food and Drug Administration, and realistically, the FDA is like, who's going to pay us more money?
Really?
Yeah. So, they've done these studies where they buy like a McDonald's hamburger and put it in, like a cake tin
Yeah.
for years, and it looks the same. You're like, what the fuck?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, look, I like good food, but I will be treating myself to some utter shit when I come to Vegas.
As you
It's got
should.
to be done.
It's
It's got to be
Vegas.
done.
Uh, Here's what I'll tell you. You guys want to go out to lunch one day. We'll all go out to lunch and we'll find maybe we'll all go to Heart Attack Grill and just see what kind of bullshit we can shove in our face.
Why not?
Yeah, good stuff. Dan, dude, thank you. I greatly appreciate your, coming to hang out with me today and chat. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was fun, mate. Thank you so much.
Hell yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here in a couple weeks. Safe travels. Let's get some lunch.
Yeah, man. I'll get you a beer as well.
I don't drink, so I'll just do water.
Okay. I'll get you a soda.
Sounds good. Have a good day, man.
Cheers, dude.
See ya.